I'm Jess Washington, CEO and Director of Finance of the Dallas Weekly, and I'm here talking with Mr. Philip Washington Jr. He is a money guru, if you will, but he also recently wrote an article for Dallas Weekly about a stress-free path to financial freedom. Philip, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And before we even get started, can you tell us about the podcast that you host?
Yes, it's Wealth Building Made Simple. I need to remember how long I've been doing it. I feel like I'm going on 5. I think I'm going into year 6.
Oh, wow.
And so we're almost at 900 episodes. It is all about money, basically wealth building. And we keep it relatively short and try to keep it non-technical and just helping people. The goal is every episode, once you get started, we try not to overwhelm, but it's just bits and nuggets of things I've learned over 17, 18 years in the industry, what I've learned from working with very wealthy people and what they do and how they think about money, made into a show.
Cool. Well, thank you again for joining us, and congratulations on 6 years, because that is a big deal. And let's go ahead and get right into it. So one thing is for sure, especially I'm a transparent person. We've talked before. When it comes to our community, the Black community, talking about money is just already a tense and stressful subject, right? But every time I talk to you, from the first time I met you, actually, when we were on the panel, you have a very calm, cool, collective viewpoint on money management and money in general. You know that it's needed, but you just seem like you never really stressed about it. So I just thought that this was such a poignant article that you wrote. Can you tell me about that type of sentiment?
Yes. So I'll relate it to everything else in life, and I like to use dating and things like that. I use the analogy of I was very smart kid, and I was not super cool in what you would call cool. I was very unaware of social norms.
Okay.
And I had no interest in learning them because it felt like too much effort. I was like, I'm not willing to do something outside of myself to be cool because that just is too much trouble. I got to remember who I am around different people, and then what happened was, because of my aloofness, as I grew into my body ways, and I started getting
Right.
and then I was like, wait a minute. So if you don't really think about it and care about it, then you attract it. That's weird, right? Because then because I had a buddy, and so we going to college. And I had a buddy who would, he was girl crazy. We go into the spot and he just sweating ladies, and they're looking at me because I'm aloof. Not that I didn't care, but I'm just like,
Right.
hey, what's coming to me is coming to me. And I'm giving the analogy because that is a principle of that I learned from the older fraternity brothers to fine tune it. But then I saw the same principle with other business people that I knew, where when they talked about money and kind of what you were saying, they thought about money. Money was just like water. It was important, but if you place money above you, then you're unequal to it, and so it can't be attracted to you. Or if you place it below you, if you don't think it's important, right, then you end up on the street,
Right.
So it has, I just mirrored and watched successful people and kind of mirrored it in my own life.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, to speak to that, as I quote one of the points, you had quite a few points of new beliefs that you had versus your old beliefs, but the one that really struck me was, my first priority is to enjoy life. Don't take it too seriously. Money is abundant, and it comes to those who call it from a place of joy. No stress necessary. That was actually pretty deep,
Yeah, and that's like an evolution, right? Because and I'm speaking about the past as if I fully understood what I was doing, but it's kind of a gradual progression of observation where you go, all right, this worked in that domain. All right, now I see this person doing it, and I see this person doing it, and then you just keep going. And I'm a big believer. I spoke on the panel last night, and I used the word momentum instead of discipline. because discipline is like a hard word to me. Like discipline sounds difficult, and people might say, um, like I used to conflate the word discipline with momentum, but momentum for me is probably a better word because momentum is when you see, how you see those people and they make money effortlessly or they work a room effortlessly, and you go, man, they're, how do they do it? Well, it's the momentum of habits, right? So, and so that's big.
I totally agree with that. Just like I think I told you before, even though I have a background in finance from a corporate standpoint, the position I have now at the Weekly forces me to go out, interact with people. And honestly, I have to go make money in advertisements. That's how we support ourselves as a business. So, I mean, you want to talk about anxiety? Like when I was first told to like call people and tell them about the Weekly, it's almost like I was like, I quit. I don't believe in this. Like, I can't do it. I literally said, I can't do it. And then it speaks to that momentum, right? So it was like, it's not like I didn't have the discipline or didn't want to do it, but I had to build my confidence. And then over time, so right now the confidence I'm trying to build is to tell somebody, give me $1 million, and I got to believe it, that mindset. So that's what I've been hearing a lot of that actually from I'm sure you've heard it too from executives, CEOs, and things like that. I used to think it was like really all fluff, but it kind of starts working that if you don't have the right mindset, then how are you going to manifest or whatever your buzzword will be, manifest, workout, game plan, it's all the same thing, but you ultimately create a situation for yourself that's comfortable that you can work with and then just keep building on top of that,
100%.
One of the things you did, you mentioned in the article, you talked about like steps to stress-free financial planning. Two-part question. The first thing I want to know is, as you listed the steps, was this in order or chronological order, if you will, of how you evolved to get this information, or are these just kind of, at random, like this works for me, this works for me? Is it like a pros and cons situation?
Yeah. So I guess the answer is yes and yes, meaning like for me, I try to just stand on principles, right? Because I never want to be the person that says, hey, this is my path. If you use my path, it'll work for you. So I actually don't think that's the way it works.
Right.
I try to give examples because if I just gave the principles without examples, then it becomes like the fluff and, there's no real examples. But I think the principle for me is understanding that, like what you just said, what we believe to be true, we express, and God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, doesn't respond to words; it responds to emotions, right? I mean, everybody experience like a lot. That person that you see, and they're not aware, and what they're thinking, and they're trying to hide it, right? They're doing different words, and you're like, but man, I know something is up. Why don't you just tell me? And they're hiding it, and you go, you think I'm dumb? Like I'm
Right.
I feel how you feel. I have empathy, right? And they don't get it. I'm saying that's because words can lie, but feelings don't. And so it's more, the principle is what you believe to be true becomes true. How do you know what you believe? How you feel, right? If you spend money, or if you approach money, or you approach a financial plan and you have a lot of stress, that's letting you know that your thoughts and beliefs around money are not where you want it to be. And so so it becomes, all right, from that standpoint, then what do I have to do to massage my beliefs about money, right? I need to like imagination. I need to go hang with people. I need to go watch movies, watch shows on money. I need to stop engaging in conversations with people that talk about not having enough money. Right? I need to watch how I talk about money. I need to stop demonizing billionaires. I need to stop saying that somebody needs to give me a chance, right? Just all these negative things that we all like, because I don't come from money. Like I'm still daily observing my thoughts and beliefs around money and trying to continue to elevate how I think about money and make it easier and easier. So it's a continuous, process, but I'm just saying, like, making that a daily practice to build your momentum is important. And so those were like my steps and what worked for me. But I think if you have the principle, then it's unlimited on how you can direct your thoughts around money, and build the momentum in your favor over time.
Yeah, and that actually, you actually just spoke to that, converting your goals into a feeling. It's almost like you just explained that whole thing. I wanted to segue real quick. You were mentioning like go watch I'm so sorry, media that would inspire you. So what shows or movies do you watch about money that inspires you?
I like to read biographies. I would say the shows that I like about money. What I'm trying to think right now. Of course, what's my favorite movie? One of my favorite movies of all time is The Pursuit of Happiness. So that's a really good movie about money.
Okay.
But Reginald Lewis's book, Why Should White Guys Have All the Fun? That's a really good book. There's a book called Black Titan. It's about A.G. Gaston, and this is how cool A.G. Gaston was. He in the 50s and 60s, or 40s, 50s, 60s, when King and them were marching on the state of Alabama, he owned banks, insurance companies, real estate, and the state of Alabama had money in his bank when they were dealing with King then, right? This is Bull Connor. And so his story was kind of like him and King were at not at odds, because they were staying in his hotel when they came to Alabama, and the people on his team was calling A.G. Gaston Uncle Tom because he didn't agree with their methods. But he was like, "Hey, conflict solves nothing." I say what they understand is making money, and I got the people in the city the white people in the city who are about making money, not the politicians. And they're they're neutral. They're not racist. They're not, they speak the language of money. And so so he's saying it's inevitable that they're going to like integrate because it's a new market. Right. So that's where they were at odds. But I'm saying it to say that book was super instrumental to me, because one of the things that I had to overcome personally about money is the man is keeping me down. The man's not keeping us down. That's a mental belief that we passed down from generations. Because when I look into history, like the first president of America, not U.S., of America, was black. There's always been black people in the UK and early America that were rich.
I'm actually gonna ask you in closing, like what kind of things or tools can people use? I feel like I asked you this last time we were on a panel together, but I'll repeat it. Like, what kind of tools are out there for the regular Joe who, knows that, they want to be more financially literate, or just want to make baby steps, if you will, because you were talking about momentum. Like, what kind of things are out there that somebody can use? Any type of maybe trade tools, or something free online. Like, you don't have to like sponsor any banks or anything, but just give us like a couple tips, because we are in a digital world. So how can somebody like right now just get on their phone and get started with trying to save better and do better?
It's funny you use the word betterment. I like the company Betterment, Betterment. I use them on an institutional side for managing money for clients, but there's a retail side where you can download the app, invest on your own. But it's super easy, because you can just program in like any goal you want. You log in, you do the app, you put your information. If you want to save for a wedding, they got that goal. You want to save for college.
Oh, wow.
And once you plug in your goal, your time frame, and your income and everything, they'll recommend a portfolio. And the portfolios are good. Like, they're real. People think because it's an app, it's not a good portfolio. I'm like, no, like that portfolio is better than like most advisors you're ever gonna be with, and is more inexpensive. So I personally like the app. I think it's a good way to start. I have accounts for my kids, with Betterment as well. So it's a really good, really good platform.
I do have to plug that, JPMorgan Chase is our sponsor for this. So they also have financial tools at their website if you go to chase.com. And it would actually kind of not mimic as robust as the Betterment, but just for those starting out, especially if you have a Chase account, go into your local bank and see who can give you some help.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I'm sure they probably have a good robo-advisor platform too, Chase.
They have savings tools, financial goals tools, like you said before, and then like I said, they always advise that you just make a relationship with your local banker to talk about your financial needs and get some guidance that way. They're really big right now on community banking, and so definitely wanted to throw that in there. With that being said, Philip, do you have anything else that you want to tell the audience before we go, other than to go back and read your article at dallasweekly.com?
Yeah, that too. No, I'm just appreciative of what y'all are doing. Yeah, I love the economic empowerment. I love that y'all are helping, shapes people's mind towards wealth. So thanks for having me.
Thank you again for being here. Yes, we've been doing this for 69 years now, and we're just going to keep it moving. So I know that we'll be talking again, and I definitely want people to go check out Wealth Building Made Simple by my boy, Philip Washington. We actually call each other family because we're Washingtons.
Yeah. I'll be like, what up, cuz?
Yeah, exactly. I can't help but say it now. But thank you again for coming on this segment. So we will talk again soon.
All right. Thanks for having me.